If you look around, it's easy to think the world is broken. Wars, inequality, climate change. Everywhere you look, chaos. But what if I told you this chaos is exactly what makes the world perfect? Not perfect as in flawless, but perfect as in balanced, as in exactly the way it's supposed to be. When we think of perfection, we usually imagine a world without flaws, a blue sky without clouds, green trees without a single leaf out of place. But here's the paradox. If we actually try to create that kind of perfection, it ends up looking fake, even ugly. Here's a natural photo of a forest, but to make it perfect, the sky should be more blue, the ground also got to be greener, and other details got to be edited. Here's the ending result. Which one feels more real? Which one feels alive? Of course, this one. If you want to see real perfection, look at nature. Every ecosystem on Earth is a masterpiece of balance, not because everything lives in harmony, but because every species, even the ones we hate, has a role to play. Take mosquitoes, for example. Most people dream of a world without them. But if mosquitoes disappeared overnight, entire ecosystems would collapse. They're a vital food source for birds, bats, frogs, and even fish. And believe it or not, they also pollinate plants, including some we rely on. Remove mosquitoes and you don't just kill a nuisance, you unravel the food chain. The same goes for snakes. Many people fear them, but snakes keep rodent populations under control. Without snakes, crops would be overrun, diseases would spread, and predators that rely on snakes as prey would starve. A snake eating a cute hamster might look cruel to us, but it's balance. It's nature's way of keeping the system alive. And here's the truth. The brutal world of animals, where a lion hunts a gazelle or a snake swallows a rodent, is not cruelty. It's normal. It's survival. In fact, it's the very process that makes ecosystems strong and self-sustaining. But if you look at us humans, we're the only species that goes beyond survival. We make animals suffer in ways no ecosystem ever would. Plastic choking turtles, oil spills killing fish, industrial farming on a scale no predator could ever match. Nature's perfection lies in its balance. Every mosquito bite, every snake strike, every predator-prey relationship is part of a cycle. But our actions, they don't fit the pattern. And that's the difference. Imperfection in nature creates balance, while human imperfection often breaks it. But here's the twist. Human flaws don't only break things, they also drive us forward. Because unlike other species, we turn our mistakes, our fears, even our greed, into tools for progress. Take war, for example, humanity's greatest imperfection. Wars are destructive, brutal, and tragic. Yet history shows us that even war has forced innovation. During World War II, radar technology, jet engines, and even computers were accelerated by the desperate need to survive. Afterward, these same technologies reshaped civilian life, giving us air travel, medical imaging, and the digital revolution. The same pattern appears everywhere. Mistakes in science often lead to breakthroughs. Penicillin, one of the most important medicines in history, was discovered by accident, a messy petri dish left out in a lab. Our imperfections create space for discovery. Without them, progress would stall. Even greed, one of our darkest traits, has fueled progress. The race for profit gave us the Industrial Revolution. Dirty, dangerous, and unfair. Yes. But it also gave us mass production, railways, electricity, and the comforts of modern life. Without greed, ambition, and competition, we might still be living in the shadows. So while human flaws can break nature's balance, they can also create something new. Our imperfections are double-edged, capable of both destruction and transformation. And maybe that's part of the hidden perfection of the world. At first glance, chaos looks like destruction. Economies crash, civilizations fall, societies spiral into conflict. But if you zoom out, chaos is often just the beginning of a new order. Take the Great Depression of 1929. For years, the world economy collapsed. Millions lost jobs, banks failed, families starved. To many, it felt like the end of the system itself. But out of this chaos came new ideas, social safety nets, modern banking regulations, and institutions designed to protect people from the same disaster happening again. The chaos of collapse created a stronger, more resilient economy. The same pattern repeats in history. The fall of the Roman Empire looked like the end of civilization. Libraries burned, cities fell into ruin. But that collapse gave birth to new nations, new languages, new cultures. Europe's Dark Ages eventually led to the Renaissance, one of the greatest explosions of art, science, and philosophy the world has ever seen. Even in nature, chaos creates order. Forest fires, for example, destroy trees in a violent blaze. Yet without fire, many forests would die. Fires clear old growth, release nutrients, and make room for new life. What looks like destruction is often rebirth. That's the paradox. Collapse is not the end. Chaos doesn't just destroy, it reshapes. It clears the ground for something new to grow. What feels like imperfection in the moment is often the hidden perfection of transformation. If there's one thing humans struggle with, it's the idea of control. We like to believe that if we work hard enough, if we plan carefully enough, we can fix the world. But history shows something different. Every generation thought the world was broken, and every generation was wrong. In the 1930s, the Great Depression convinced millions that capitalism itself had failed. Yet the global economy bounced back, reshaped by new rules and institutions. In the 1960s, the Cold War made people believe humanity was on the brink of nuclear annihilation. Families built bunkers, children practiced hiding under desks at school, and yet the bombs never fell. Instead, that tension gave rise to space exploration, global cooperation, and eventually the collapse of the Soviet Union. So what if the world isn't broken at all? What if the wars, the mistakes, the chaos, even the suffering are not flaws but the very forces that keep everything moving forward? Perfection isn't about removing pain or forcing order. Perfection is balance. It's the way life renews itself over and over through cycles of collapse and rebirth. The world isn't waiting to be fixed. It's already perfect in its imperfection. The real question is, can we learn to see it that way? And do you think imperfection is what makes life meaningful? Or should humanity keep striving for a flawless world? Tell me, what do you think in the comments? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel